Hey, welcome to Better Do Business today. Today I've actually got Nathan Schokker, who is a really, really nice guy, a genuine great bloke. He's an awesome networker. He's even been president of the Junior Chamber of Commerce and stuff like that, yeah?
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Are you still involved in that, or you finished up?
I am still involved in that. So I'm in my third year of being president, and all going well, I'll probably end that role towards the end of this year and pass along to the next president so they can make it even bigger and better than I have.
I was going to say, your third year of being president, like, have you taken it over like the Marcoses did with the Philippines or something like that? I mean...
No. It is the Brisbane Junior Chamber of Commerce. It isn't Nathan's Junior Chamber of Commerce. So.
And that had nothing to do with, your girlfriend's shoe cabinet or anything like that. So, look, today what I wanted to do is find out a little bit more about you, about the business that you do have. So what is your business, Nathan?
So Talio, we're a property services and maintenance business. So we cover everything from cleaning to security to gardening, handyman, pest control, fire compliance, primarily working around commercial and industrial properties. In a nutshell, all the services that we do make sure a property runs the way it should, on budget, and looks good.
Cool. But so do you look after the landlords or do you look after the tenants?
Both, actually. We work alongside a lot of developers, property managers, body corporate companies, and we also work alongside occupiers of space, so lessees of space, tenants, offices, restaurants, all of that sort of stuff. So we're not just one side or the other. We look after both sides.
Great. And what about my house? If I need a handyman for my house or someone to come and fix it?
Sure. No doubt we'd be more than happy to help you out, Kevin.
Cool. It's good to understand the full services of what you got because, hey, we've got a pretty good group of, there's 6,000 members plus. So really awesome to see if you can help them out. Now, the first question we've generally got is, what was that tipping point that went, damn, I need to have my own business?
So the tipping point for me was perhaps not so much of a decision, but a set of circumstances that put me in the position where I could create the business that I always thought would work best. So before I had my own business, I worked in commercial cleaning for just over 13 years, worked for one company that whole time, started way back when in the year 2000 as a cleaner, doing toilets and all of that sort of stuff, working weekends and school holidays, and then...
Well, you got to do something when you're 12, yeah.
So work my way up through that business.
Now that we're not allowed to put people in the salt mines, so what was that lead up to going, okay, I no longer want to work here, I want to do my own thing?
Sure. So as I said, it was a set of circumstances that was a little bit out of my control. So my employers at the time decided that with where the business was, they felt I wasn't a necessary part of the future for them. So they offered for me to leave. So I did, and then sort of wondered what I was going to do. And actually what sort of solidified my decision to start my own business was I had some contacts that I had made during my previous employment that they actually reached out to me personally, and I had lunch with a few of them, and they sat down, and at one point during the lunch they said, Nathan, whatever you decide to do, we will support you with our business however we can. So they said, if you want to sell photocopiers, if you want to paint walls, clean cars, build satellites, we'll support you and give you our business in any way we possibly can. So a bit on the spot, I pitched them the business idea of what Talio is, and I said, if I could do this and provide these services and help you out in these ways, would that be of interest? And they said, yep. And that was 5.5 years ago.
Excellent. No, that's fantastic. So 5.5 years, you've never looked back?
No.
Fantastic. So what was the one thing, and in 5.5 years, lots of different stuff can happen, but what was one thing that made a greater impact on your business than any other? For good, greater impact for good. than any other.
Sorry, I think we dropped out a little bit there.
That's okay. So, what was the one thing that was the greatest impact on your business for good?
The one thing. I think the one thing that has impacted our business the most and will continue to do so forever is the relationships that we build. Not just with our clients and our suppliers and everyone that works for us. That's really the biggest thing is because we're a services business, we live and die off the relationships that we have. And when our clients, when something goes wrong with our clients, they want to know that they can pick up the phone or shoot us an email and say, hey, listen, something's gone wrong, we need your help, and they're going to give you that trust to get it done and look after them. That's definitely the biggest thing for us, relationships.
Cool. And look, I believe that great businesses are about great relationships and forming those long-term relationships. It's much easier to help clients more rather than having to get a whole lot more clients, if that makes sense. So
totally. Yeah,
which is great. Awesome. Do you have a mantra or a saying that keeps you going? When times do get a little bit tough.
Trust your gut. Always trust your gut. Trust the instinct. Trust that inner voice inside of you that's telling you what to do. But I couldn't say that enough. It's the one thing I've always listened to, and in the times I haven't, it's always bit me in the arse. So always trust your gut.
Excellent. Now, we've all been through some tough times in small business. It's really rare to find people who haven't. And if they haven't, we need to rub them and go buy a lottery ticket. But people think you're a bit funny when you walk up the street. It can be a bit inappropriate. So tell us about a tough time that you found yourself in, and what did you do? How'd you get out of that?
The toughest time for me in having my own business was right at the start. So to go back a little bit to the first question as to how did starting Talio come about? As I said, I worked in commercial cleaning for 13 years, and that was my past employers. They sort of mapped out a future for me within that business that I would become a future owner or part owner within that business, and it would be effectively a career for life, a job for life, as long as I continue to work hard and put everything I could into it, and that's what I always did. As an example, it may not be the best example, but during those 13 years that I worked there, I only ever had 6 weeks of annual leave, never had a sick day, always put in plenty of hours, plenty of effort to get everything done as best we could. And so where the hardest part comes down to is, and I still vividly remember the final day I worked in that company, it was a Monday afternoon. I was called in to a meeting with the managing director of the business, and the managing director, his opening line for the meeting was, by the end of this meeting, you will have resigned effective immediately, or you will be terminated effective immediately. Which took me by surprise. I didn't see this coming at all. And rightly or wrongly, I decided to resign effective immediately because I felt it was the best thing for the business and for the people that would remain in the business. So on the spot, I wrote out my resignation, passed everything back, company car, phone, access to the office, so on and so forth. And made my way home that afternoon. And honestly, the thing that made it the toughest out of that whole scenario is that the owners of that business are my parents. So that final meeting was with my father. Months later, starting the business, it was tough to it was super tough to do it because for me, for years, well, a decade plus, I'd had this vision that the future was not in my own business; it was within the business I was working in. So for me, that was the toughest point of my business, and obviously everything else that goes with starting your own business, attaining clients, ensuring you have money in the bank, learning all the stuff you had no idea about in starting a business, figuring out how much tax you do actually pay, and all the different taxes that you have to pay, and the insurances, and the this and the that, and the website, and emails, and God knows however many things that you have to go through just to figure out how to start a business. I think is hard enough, but for me, that emotional side of it was pretty brutal, honestly, and it's it still holds strong feelings for me. So
absolutely. And that's a testament to your resilience with the fact that you have got through that, you have continued, and you've created a really awesome business
thank you.
that you do have. So, which is fantastic. So, look, it's one of the things in small business, we never know what other business owners have been through, and it's easy at different times to go, oh, that person was a bit snappy on that day or whatever. But we're all here. We've all gone through different things. Hopefully not too many people have gone through something as brutal as that, I've got to be honest.
I certainly hope not.
But at the same time, we've all been through stuff and we've all carried on, and we've all had, just the resilience of your typical small business owner is really a testament to the character of the person that you're dealing with at any point in time.
Absolutely, yeah.
So within the whole trades area, we've had, royal commissions into banking. We've got, this, that, and the next thing happening in the news at the moment. Is there something happening in the news at the moment that's affecting you, your business, and your clients at the moment more specifically than others?
I don't think it gets as much news or notice that it potentially should or could be. Probably the biggest challenge for us is around sort of wages and labour rates and those sorts of things. One of the hardest things that I find that I try and keep up with is the changes in rules and regulations around this sort of stuff, as to sort of like base wages and allowances and penalty fees and all of that sort of stuff, and sort of the hours someone can or can't work within a week, and how certain situations can affect that if they're a student or not a student, or if they're foreign born or not foreign born, and so on and so forth. It's and especially given across the number of services that we provide within our business, it can be a bit of a minefield, and it's hard to track at times. So it is sort of that would be our biggest challenge, is just trying to keep on top of it all.
So at the moment, with all of the different discussion going on in the media about the need to lift wages in this country, must be really concerning for you. I mean, we've got one political party saying, hey, let's reduce taxes. The other one saying, let's not worry about that. Let's just lift wages so they can collect more taxes. But at the same time, as small business owners, the challenge of paying those wages is a real challenge.
Yeah, it is, and I think one of the challenges to it that people don't appreciate is how clients, prospective clients, actually value a service as well. Just to pull one of the services sort of out of the fold in particular would be cleaning. Now, a lot of people would be potentially surprised to know that. So the minimum award rate for a cleaner is I don't know it to the cent, but it's in the $23 per hour range. Now, if you said that to most people, they would think the cleaners are paid like royalty. Because I've had potential clients that have asked me if we pay our cleaners only $12 an hour, and when I turn around and say to them, well, I can't legally actually do that, and they question me why, and I say, well, you're welcome to look up the national award because that's what I will be charged against. And they're stunned. And I honestly, I have had potential clients that have walked away from us pursuing someone that's going to pay a cleaner under the award rate knowingly. So that's So it is and with everything that's spoken about, raising pay rates for people and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, it is certainly a concern and a challenge for us. Is just trying to keep up with it all and seeing where it actually ends up at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And you brought up a really valid point, is that as consumers, we need to be looking for suppliers that are doing the right things by their team, right? Sure, we can always look for a cheaper product, but we need to be careful that we're not breaking the law, because as a consumer, if we're looking to buy something that is valued at underneath what a legal requirement is, then ultimately we're the ones breaking the law. We don't think of it like that. So it is a real challenge, because in this day and age we expect to get more for less, but there is a point where you can't get more for less. Particularly when it comes to a human service. So from that perspective, so it's a really different insight, which is great. So thank you very much for that. You actually have a quick guide into how you do a bit of a triage and assess a situation to make sure that you're sending the right people in to the right job. And you did tell me about a funny story where the toilets exploded and all that sort of stuff. I do love that story. It's
one of the favorites. Yeah.
Well, to say one of my favorites, it's quite a visual one. Look, if you want to find out more about that story, if you reach out to Nathan, he'll show you how to get that story. So, definitely just put a comment below and he will help you do that. It is really quite funny. But tell me more about your, just really briefly, you got your response system, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do in a heartbeat? What do you do to help people get the right trades there so that they're not paying too much, or they're not paying people who can't really help them out?
Sure. So in a nutshell, it's all about a bit of preparation at the start, is identifying what the actual challenge or the problem is from the get-go, because we often see trade sent out to a site urgently and it's completely something that they can't fix or touch or sort out for them at all. So we put...
That's expensive, because you still got to pay them to turn up.
That's right. They're going to charge you a call-out fee and whatever time they spend on site, and then you're going to have to turn around and get another tradesman to go out there that will actually fix it. So we put a lot of time and effort into identifying what the problem is and understanding it, so that we can dispatch the right services at the right times to tackle the problem and solve it as quickly as possible for everyone.
Cool. If you want to find out more about the system that Nathan uses, he has detailed that. It's in the school, and basically, if you have a chat with Nathan, he'll help you understand how you can get access into there. I promise you will, Nathan.
Of course.
So no, it's all good. So look, thanks very much for your time and having that chat with us today, helping us understand a little bit more about your business, Talio. If somebody does need a trade and needs something fixed, whether it's on a commercial property or residential, how do they get hold of you?
They can head straight over to our website, talio.com.au. Or
how would you spell that?
TALIO.
Excellent.
Otherwise, they can always give me a call, shoot me a text on 0432 504 801. Or you can email me, nathan@talio.com.au, and we'll be happy to help.
Hey, even send him a message on Facebook. He will look after that too. Definitely, he's a fairly active member of the group and keeps his eye out for what's happening. So I really do appreciate you taking the time today to have a chat with us and to help people have a different perspective about business. And that's really what we're trying to do, is help others understand that, hey, we're all in it together. We've all been through similar stuff, and even though every one of our stories is truly unique, there's a lot that we do actually have in common. So thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you.
Today. Awesome. Thanks a lot. And I can't just hit my screen to go end this broadcast. So thanks very much for your time today.